Hello there, my name is Ben, and today I have quite an important announcement for you. So for the longest time you've been asking for a way to become more involved in Hurt Records, and why I value that, it's also easier said than done, because in a studio environment it's highly pressurized. I make it highly pressurized most of the time, and waving a camera in my face is likely to get you punched. So I ban cameras in the studios, and I have done for 4 or 5 years. Just seems easier that way. I've learned that that may not be the most conducive way to further your interest in what we do. I know that now. I've learned that the hard way. Because various documentary films have come out recently, which you've all enjoyed, and has really sparked and rekindled a love for what we do here, which is amazing. And I feel almost embarrassed that for this length of time we've kept you out of those environments, because all you want to see is how it's made, and that's the bit of the process that I love. Like, once an album's out, I can't wait to get on to the next one. It's just what it is. So today we're going to be announcing the Hurt Records official Patreon. I didn't even know what Patreon was until a few weeks ago. And I was always averse to it because I didn't understand it. And it actually came from a conversation that I had with a group in the street team who recommended Patreon to me as a way to further involve all of you in what we do. Now, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this right and do it hard. And the best way for me to consider doing this is to appoint a member of staff to take care of Patreon entirely. So there will be a dedicated member of our team who only works in Patreon for you guys. What that means is editing the content that we film, posting updates, pictures. I'll post stuff as well, obviously, but I mean, there will be someone handling it, because at the end of the day, I need to work. I'm like a shark. If I stop moving, I will die. So I need to constantly work. So if someone, I don't mind filming things, obviously, but if someone else can handle the editing and the uploading and all of that stuff for that content, then that's great, and that will work flawlessly as far as I'm concerned. We also have a new member of staff, you may have noticed, taking over the social media side of what we do, which is great and long overdue. For a long time I was doing that myself, and you could tell because nothing happened of any value on there. But now you're able to see things that we haven't been able to share before, and I hope you do appreciate that. Someone's working very hard to make sure that that works. So what does it mean, and what will you get from this Patreon? Well, there's various tiers, as you probably understand from Patreon, and you probably know it better than I do. But if you want to go and check it out while I'm doing this, it's patreon.com/Hurt Records, unbelievably. HURTRECORDS. So there's various tiers, but there's a tier where I think it's like £1. Then it steps up, and basically you are guaranteed access to a private Discord server where we only talk about Hurt Records stuff. You are only fed Hurt Records related media and updates and various other things in different tiers. There's a fly on the wall tier, so I'll be live streaming a few times a week, and with that, it won't just be that live stream. We will then edit and make a compilation of the best moments of that live stream for you to enjoy at a later date, because I understand that everyone's in different time zones and the live streams never really work out that well for anyone, because I start working really early in the morning and stop working really late at night. And while that sounds good, most of my audience is American, so that doesn't really work so well. So moving on from that, we have things like mix breakdowns, which I love doing. They are part of my favorite side of what we've been doing. In fact, we've put a few together already for you to enjoy, but that's probably my favorite part of all of this. One of the upper echelons of those tiers, I think the highest echelon, has a 30-minute Skype call with me. Now that sounds like, why would I be charging someone for a 30-minute Skype call? I get that, and I don't really understand it either. But what I will be able to do in that Skype call is talk to you about NDA'd projects. Now, that's the reason it's in that higher tier, because I work with bands, I work with companies, I work with various institutions, all of which are really cowardly when it comes to having someone talk about their shit. I'm not leaking anything, I would never leak anything like that. But what I am going to be very careful to do is give you updates and information on things, maybe without being too specific about those things. But I do want to involve you in some of the projects that I'm never allowed to talk about, whether it's ghosting something or composing something for an upcoming film or project or game. there's a lot of stuff, in fact, of half of the side of what I do that you never see. So you're only kind of accessible to, or only half of my content, or even that, I don't even know, maybe a third of my content is ever accessible to you. So that's the end of that. We need to nip that in the bud, and we will change that and move on accordingly. There are various things like posting demos of songs, which I'm quite interested in doing because I have a lot of demos of unreleased songs, and I have thousands of unreleased bits and bobs of songs, which I've always found it quite interesting looking back over them, and you'll probably understand more than I do the links they have to actual songs, because occasionally there's a melody in something that gets lost to time, and being able to go over some of that content will be quite interesting as well. And exclusive behind the scenes content, so we have more updates from various documentary things we've already done, which will be only accessible now via Patreon, which is quite important because we had a documentary series before which I had to leave a few things out in the edit not because of an NDA, but because of some complications. So no more to that. They'll all be accessible behind the Patreon wall. And also things like vlogs and being able to be here with me daily and see daily updates of things. I don't mind doing that. That's not a problem at all. As long as someone else is able to edit that and give it to you, that's fine. Because I really can't stress enough that my job, it's very challenging, and every single minute of the day is used effectively. I plan my days in 15-minute segments, and I plan them the day before. If something isn't done in 15 minutes, I have to come back to it. It's Pomodoro technique. You should look it up if you're trying to be ultra effective. You can even go down to 5-minute segments. I tried that once. That was even hardcore for me, who is fairly hardcore when it comes to working non-stop. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you have any questions about Patreon or anything, there is a comment section on there. There's also the comment section of wherever you're watching this. Please do reach out and get involved. There's also tiers. The 2 top tiers, I think, of the Patreon have various pieces of merch which are only exclusively available to that Patreon as well. We have some poster prints. We have a small kind of laminated print thing. We've got the new hoodie, the 2021 hoodie, t-shirts, tote bags, everything Hurt Records that you can get them on the store as well, but they're part of that Patreon program. And I do look forward to seeing you on the Discord. I hope you will join us in some way, regardless of what tier you are. I hope you're going to come and spend some time with us. The live streams will all take place on YouTube Live via a YouTube link that we'll send to Patreon. There'll be calls in the Discord server. There'll be various things, and most importantly, updates about what I'm doing all the time. So I hope you're as excited as we are. This is very new territory for me, so bear with me while the kind of cogs get unstuck with this stuff, because it's been the longest time since I've been anything remotely related to being sociable, especially online. So I do apologize if there's some teething issues. They will be sorted, and trust me, we're working non-stop behind the scenes to make sure that this works properly for you, because it needs to be done properly once, and then once I get used to it, we'll be away, I think. But I look forward to seeing you on the Discord, hopefully, and I hope you're all well and enjoy the upcoming projects. Thanks.